Hey, this is Joanna. Welcome to my book review video. This is Intuitive Eating, a revolutionary program that works by Evelyn Tribble and Elyse Resch, both with lots and lots of very important letters after their names. I actually I listened to the 4th edition audiobook. This book is one that my husband actually got from his work several years ago as part of a work-wide book group or something. And he read it and he's like, yeah, stuff I know. Because apparently eating is easy for him. Eating food, not as easy for me, it turns out. So I was at a writer's retreat this summer, and it was a wonderful retreat, fully catered, lovely, very peaceful, got me started writing again. And then I found, though, that I overate at this retreat, and I overate to the point of being uncomfortable, almost, where I would go back and get seconds. So I'm gluten intolerant, and they did a great job of providing gluten-free meals for me, very much appreciated. And so there would be some leftover, which I don't like wasting food. That is a thing from growing up, that you don't leave food on your plate. We'll send those egg whites you don't want to eat to starving children in Ethiopia. Like nonsense I grew up with. Have to clean your plate off. All kinds of food nonsense I was taught. But, so there was some of that going on for me. And so I didn't want food to be wasted, especially the delicious food I was being served. And also, what I realized is that some part of me was afraid that I would get hungry before I would get served more food again, before the next meal. Even though I brought snacks, even though I had a car and I could have driven to a grocery store or a restaurant and bought myself more food, because I wasn't in charge, I didn't have a kitchen, I wasn't in charge of the food, and when it got served and cooked and everything, I was afraid, and I do have hypoglycemia, and I do need to go, I do have to manage my food levels in that sense. But I was afraid that I would get hungry, and so I overate. And it was this weird dynamic that was going on that happened over those few days of the retreat that made me go, there's something deeper going on here. And I don't know, I think it was right after that I started listening to this book, because I realized I have some body stuff going on. Which is fine, right? Of course I do. So many of us do. So this book it's called a recovery book for chronic dieters, and about making peace with food. And I have done lots and lots of dieting over the course of my life. I was brought up to diet from the time I was a young child, and I remember being in England, so I would have been before the age of 10. That's probably 8, 9, 10. And I was maybe a tiny, teensy bit chubby. And I remember looking at my mum's women's magazines, which are terrible to begin with, and her talking about some grapefruit and hard-boiled egg diet, I think, that she was on, and how she was saying, yes, it can, it helps her lose, drops a few pounds in 2 weeks or something. Because it was always about losing weight. It was always about dissatisfaction with her body. And I remember asking her, like, Mummy, do you think I need to go on a diet? Because, there had been comments about my body. And her saying, basically, yeah, you kind of do. A bit of a caveat of like, oh, maybe it's just baby fat and you'll grow out of it, but if you don't, yes, you do. And for me, there's been a lot of that, Weight Watchers, Atkins, Weight Watchers again, I don't know, various things. Some, tried some, never really got into the combination diets of like you could have carbs and protein, you could have protein and fat, but you couldn't have carbs and fat, because I was like, but then I can't put butter on my toast, and I just do not understand how that would work. So and then a few years ago I did Come on, words, come to me, not paleo. Oh, I did the zone diet. That actually worked pretty well for me. More protein is good for me. I did I can see the cover of the book, and I cannot think of the name of it. The one where you don't get to eat many carbs at all. And I actually felt fantastic on that and lost 40 pounds, I think, which was good for me at the time, and is not a good long-term solution. So I had a lot of experiences with food, and struggles with food, experiences with food. We all have, because we eat a lot. Hopefully we eat often throughout our days and throughout our weeks and lives. So this book, this audiobook, it was good. It came at a good time for me. I needed it. I needed to hear that, you know, diet culture is insidious and it's not good for us. That, you know, things that I knew. There were so many things that I knew. I've done Noom as well, which annoys the crap out of me, because they're like, it's not a diet, and they also still give you 1,200 calories a day. I'm like, okay, that's starvation. Which this book says, yes, 1,200 calories, that is a starvation diet, and it fucks you up, basically. Don't do it. It's not good for you. And as many times as they go, that's it, I'm not dieting anymore, I'm not doing it again. Yeah, I would do it again, because I would feel like I have to. Like, society expects me to look a certain way, and I'm unacceptable any other way, and there's so much shame associated with that you have to. And it's so complicated and so fraught, and this book helped me look at all of that, basically. It helped me look at how it is in these messages are in everything. And even though I've known this, right, even though I remember when I was 15 and I was modeling, I decided not to sign with an agency because I was 15, I looked 25, and I was going to be used, my images were going to be sold to make 40-year-old women feel bad about themselves, and to feel ashamed, and to feel not enough, and to feel less than, to buy the beauty industry's products. And I didn't want to participate in that, and so I didn't. I opted out and I didn't do it. And yet still, the messages from my parents, from society, have they've been fed into me, and I ate them up because that's what I was fed. So I still have a lot of unlearning and a lot of undoing to do. And this book is a step in the right direction. It has given me a lot of food for thought. I read it, probably about 3 months ago now, and I'm still digesting it. Sorry, all the food metaphors, but, you know, it's to be expected. I'm still digesting it. I'm still thinking about it, still noticing it. One of the things that's been really challenging for me in this book, to be completely honest, is that this idea of intuitive eating. I'll say I love the focus on health at every size. They tackle fat phobia. They do away with it. I love it. I love the focus on health at every size. And yet, intuitive eating feels really hard, because I don't know how to focus on eating what I want, when I want, to the point of feeling satisfied without being terrified that I'll gain weight. Because that fear is still there. They talk about helping your body and allowing your body to find the weight that it's meant to be, to find its kind of natural resting weight. And I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Because what if that weight is larger than what I have as this ideal vision of myself? I don't know. That's a hard one for me. So I'm still working through all this. Still going through me. But it's there, right? And now I know it's there. The good thing, you're like, well, why would I want to read this book and bring all this stuff up in myself? Sounds like a lot of hard work. Maybe it's better not knowing. No, I'm glad I know. I'm glad it's there and it's present for me so that I can walk through it. So I'm glad I read this book. I recommend it. If you have ever dieted, I recommend this book to you. If you have feelings about food and your body, I recommend this book. So, hope that's helpful. Let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.